As per request for some videos of the interior of this 79 Toyota Cressida, we have here the trunk, got the radios, the bracket dry. We got here the carpet peeling back under this. Did little bits of repair here underneath where surface rust was. That's an original spare. Yeah, you can take a look back here. I did some cleanup and some new caulking on all of the back end here where there was some rust issues, and it's not a perfect repair. It's a fairly challenging repair to do without taking the whole back end of the car apart. But I did do some weld-in patches here along this you know, the seam here. This thing seals, and anywhere there was a bit of an issue where moisture was possibly getting through, causing a little bit of rust issue, I stripped it, epoxied it, put some paint, just brushed it on. Okay, this is just the dum-dum stuff that I sealed on the top of the light. I mean, I had these lights out, everything was fine, looks great. This is a replacement for a clip that was kind of missing there, you know what I mean? Holds this back plastic piece in. But yeah, this lip, this edge, all of these little rust issue areas were tended to. So there's no problems with that. It's just birch stuff here. It's not rust, it's a little bit of birch debris. Yeah, the rear lock works, and it's got a safety lock too. You can lock it left, close the trunk and lock it left. And you cannot, when you do that, pull out the key, you can't open the trunk from the inside. I guess you could store your millions of dollars and have somebody break in and try to pull the lock, the latch for the there, and you won't be able to open it because of the way that works. It's pretty significant, interesting little feature. But yeah, you can see that button works. You can see this button works. That's the fuel door. We got the hood open already. There's our latch. A little bit of interior. Here we go. And yeah, what's positive? It's pretty good shape. Negative, as you can see, there is some use here that has had some miles on it. It's fair. It's not bad. You know what I'm saying? They're pretty good shape. All right. A little bit of here cracking. And a little bit of cracking here. I took all these panels off and reapplied the there was missing a couple of dust covers on this side. What I found out was this door had been body worked prior, and a little bit of Bondo in this panel, and there was some rust issue up here on this panel that I did not take care of. All I did was open up the door and clean it up as best I could. Put wax, rust preventative wax on any of the surface rust on the doors that I could see, you know. And even though this door has been through the ringer once, on the inside of the panels on all of these doors are an excellent repair. So you can see here on this door, that's original rust right there, not much. And for a northern British Columbia car, we're looking at really good. Now, I did have some rust here that I had to repair with a patch of metal, new metal there. I went in the inside, I put new metal on the inside here. All of this has been undercoated, removed rust, welded back in patches where needed. Like, for example, there was a patch needed right here. Originally, you'll see a seam on this spot here. If it's an original car with original bodywork, there'll be a seam here. But, you know, I was just doing kind of a quick repair on this car. We have here probably a video I'll need to cut into pieces. I don't know how much. I did install these on my own because there was rust back here, and this has all been welded back in. I made a new panel for it, welded it up, seam sealed it, completely closed. And because this was the only real major issue I had with the car, is trying to get around this exhaust pipe here and clean up and weld and get all this kind of cleaned up and welded and resealed. It was a bit of a bear, you know what I'm saying? But I got it done. I did everything I could to make sure that there was no moisture coming back in here, as this was the original problem of the cause of moisture that was in the car. These little panels come up here. You know, and so that's all. This is all just like seam seals and rust preventative stuff and glue on top of a cleaned out and I welded up as best I could, you know, inside and outside any of the holes and issues that were possible. You can see down below there where I had opened things up, and then I reached in best I could and closed it back up with and sealed it up. You can see I've been working hard on this. That's the drain tube for the antenna. And guy needs to get in. There's power and stuff that goes there, but it's just I kind of like don't want to risk doing things to this car that may cause problems down the road. So anyways, I mean, it's not perfect. I mean, but if you have a little bit of time on your hands to finish up the finishing work on here, there's not lots left. So they're close up. Won't close proper with the rubber the way I got it. It's got a seat one time, or what's going on here? What did I do? Something's holding back. That's not normal. Yeah, that's not normal. Here we go. Right there. I didn't have this rubber pushed in proper. Aha! Not even close. There. 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 Okay, let's try that. Nice. All right, yeah, things worked good on this car. There was a little bit here, you know, got a new cap on there. You know, we got some premium gas running through it all the time. You know, these cars like that. That's the inside of there. And we got, I mean, of course, I've been running this I put quite a few tanks of fuel through it. The beautiful thing about this car is it's got a drain tank plug here you can undo and drain all the fuel out. So it have some rust in that tank, and I've been just running, well, not rust, but you know, that goopy stuff that doesn't like to burn very good, and plug up your fuel filters. So all of this was cut apart. Anywhere that needed a new piece of metal put in, I put a new piece of metal. Yeah, here's our doors here. They're nice, good shape, good repair. That's original. What else can I share here? I took the full interior out. The carpet was out, everything was out, and I wanted to have a really good look at what was going on under the carpet. And it was beautiful when I found out that there was no issues with rust under here. I had the gas pedal off and everything, and there was basically just a little surface rust underneath where that meets up there. So I had put a little bit of TLC in these areas where little bits, I mean, I really went to town on preserving what was left of this car. It's basically, it's in great repair. Here's the front door underneath. You got tiny little bit of flaking there on that one again, but as you come along, I mean, yeah, it looks bad, but it's pretty solid. It's pretty solid. You know, I'll take that back. It's not all solid. There is here. Here we go. There's an issue right there. I didn't see that before. Well, I guess I did see that and I ignored it. That's how good my ignorance is. But I think that's about it. I had the front end up here, and the bearings are all tight and everything. These are all original rims. Had this opened here. Oh yeah, I do remember up in here there was a little bit of a rusty thing going on. tiny. I mean, I talk about rust because rust is something that I like to try to make some money out of when I'm doing this on the road. I got a business. It's I'm helping people out with their old cars, and I'm trying to figure out ways to, you know, help them out. So this had a little rust plug here, plug in, put in, a little bit of rust right there. And when I had a look at that and saw I just needed to put a little bit of love over here, a little bit of the flaking going on, and I think I had that same a bit back there, resealed, you know, put a little bit of paint on again. And this side was, where's that spot? Pretty good in there, but I did do a little bit there as well. I took the oil pan, dropped it, not the oil pan, sorry, the skid plate off, cleaned that up, put some nice paint on there. So here's the engine, and I just had the battery out and was charging it because I got to point where I was stuck. I needed a boost. So I took the battery out to charge the battery up a little bit. It might have enough juice now to start it up. It's run a few cycles. And I put a new fuel filter on here. The one I took out of it was actually right here. Not the right size end. That's the filter that I took out. And here's what we're dealing with. Can you see a picture of that through here without? Here's what we're dealing with. A little bit of this stuff coming out of the tank yet. Can you see that? So that, to be aware, you know, after a while you're gonna have to replace your fuel filter again. Unless the guy takes that fuel tank right out and does a complete flush. I got some new cables here, and I was gonna put new spark plugs in, which I will give with the sale of this car, new spark plugs. You know, here's telling you how old I am. I had no idea that I couldn't get actual plugs anymore without the old school, like, bend the tab so that you got so that you can adjust the gap. I didn't know you don't do that with this type of plug. So I never got around to putting new plugs in. So I think we got $90 worth of plugs there or something like that. I can't remember. I paid for those. It seems ridiculous now. Maybe could use a new distributor cap, but I did have this off the other day, and yeah, it's probably that's needing to be done, distributor cap. Oh, and one more issue was this one. I was having troubles with my defrost and heat to come through. The air conditioning is working, and so I took off the valve here, the valve for the it signals this thing to open up, I guess, and go through to the heater core, the thing inside the box, inside the cab. I bypassed that because I thought, well, maybe the valve here was done. You can buy a new valve. It's $270 from Toyota Parts Direct. But I bypassed the valve, and then I still wasn't getting any heat inside the cab. So we've narrowed it down to, it must be the heater box itself that has a flap that's shut closed and won't open. Maybe there's a bird stuck in there. I don't know. Maybe it's just that simple, that to get it open and see what's inside there, but I don't know. I just don't want to, I need the money, let's be honest. The motor is pretty cool. It's a 4M. The transmission's awesome too. You can see, I'll show you. You don't want to come here and see this yourself because you'll be like, oh wow, I didn't get that notice. Well, there's a little puddle here, and part of that problem is because you can do a partial change of transmission fluid here. And I took that plug out, I changed, and you put in you dump out, basically I think it was 6 liters, and it's a partial transmission flush. And you dump out the 6 liters that's in there, put the plug back in, go up on top, put your 6 liters back in. And I did all that. And then I drained out the drain pan, and I found the transmission, the copper washer that's supposed to be on the bolt to go there. I forgot it. So it's got a slow leak, but I kept the washer. It's in the trunk there, and it needs to be put back on. But I went to Alberta just after that, and it's like, it wasn't a problem. And by the way, I went to Alberta and back without even worrying about this too much. This problem here. This is supposed to have a fusible link, and I have no idea where to get a fusible link from. So I went to the Princess Auto, and I bought this thing here, and I tried to put that in there, and I can only find like a 20 amp fuse, and this wire is too thin even. It's getting too hot there, and it'll just come. The fuse was melting right inside here, is melting right off. I don't think there's a problem. But when I got the car, the fusible link, the wire was corroded and just done. And so I tried to connect it all back up. And so when I turn on the headlights and run the air conditioner at the same time, for some reason, the battery starts to drain until it's like almost dead. And if you're driving, I don't know why that would happen, but if I don't have the headlights on and the heater on or the air conditioning on, actually it was the air conditioning, if it was the air conditioning or the headlights, I'm not sure. But anyways, let's fire this up. I'll show you. I drove to Alberta and back without having any problems, probably because I didn't have the headlights on. But I was running air conditioning, so there you go. I was running air conditioning. And it wasn't until I got back from Alberta, it was a little bit later in the evening, I had the headlights on. I think this is me talking it out loud. This is the problem. With the headlights on, something is not... That wire there with the fusible link, with that little tiny fuse, it just isn't cutting it. That's the best I can say. So anyways, I changed that filter just now. I just put enough energy into that battery probably to start it up. It's carbureted. Give it a couple of pumps. I mentioned the it's got a little bit of a leak there, and that's where that noise is coming from. So, just opening up my low budget security system. There we go. Yeah. It's missing the hood insulator. The squirrel was in there before I got it. Just kicked down on its own. That's working proper. Could use some new rubber airline stuff or vacuum hoses in the engine compartment there. I had tried some for a way to try to get some of it. Now, and this is interesting too. Once in a while it runs perfectly like this, no hiccupies. Not once in a while, like one every 10 times. If I turn it off and then turn it on again, it's got a little bit of a hiccup in it. And I think, well, obviously that's some sort of a vacuum assisted problem, I believe. I don't know. I know bodywork, I know rust, I know painting. So this is pretty nice. We've got a functional mirror here. Should be moving. There we go. That's it. Hey, nice. And again, we're in the compartment here. Here's our headliner. Grab handles. Like I had all this interior apart except for the roof liner itself. We got a light that works there, and this will work also with a compartment here. Open this up. We've got the door open, so sometimes people want that instead of being off all the time. I'm just trying to worry myself about conserving battery power and solving that problem. This is this radio that I don't know. I mean, I just would rather just take it out of here. I do have the original cigarette lighter. Where's that? Where'd you go? There it is. There we go. What do we got here? That's my to-do list. I better take that out of the compartment. My favorite little thing. Insurance. There we go. Toyota Cressida book. That's cool. Backup light, mirror. I mean, here's our sun visor, emergency sunglasses. That's working and that's working. Let's see. Well, how do we go for a drive from here safely? Out the door. Make sure things are working. Oh yeah, okay, so here's my transmission. Got low. I'll put my brakes on. Didn't stall, which is nice, because that would have been embarrassing. But anyways, there's reverse. There's my dog trying to get out. He's probably gonna follow me down the alley here. I better take care of that dog. He's gonna get home. You get home there, dog. Okay, so I'm just going down. Now, as I press the accelerator, there was a little bit of a hiccup there. I got to stop that again. I think that's what we're talking about when my foot was down on the floor right there, and there's a hiccup. Like, sometimes it happens, and I've been just feathering the throttle to get by that. So yeah, I can totally do that without getting stuck in the intersections. But here we go. Signals work. I bet I would like to take a little longer drive, but my dog is gonna try to escape on me. So yeah, there's a mechanical issue. That's totally somebody else's problem. My loss, your gain. There we go. This is where I live. If you come to see this and pick it up, that's where I live. I got an orange van in front. Oh yeah, here we go. Signal, left and right, those work. Once in a while the tachometer gets kind of stuck and then it kind of has to come back. This ESP thing works. It's trying to tell me something, but it says, and then it goes away. So everything seems to be fine there. High beam, low beam, dash lights. Dash lights a bit faded sometimes. They could be a little brighter at night. There's your antenna. Fuse box here. There's some fuses underneath here. Not fuses, but not solenoids. I can't remember what they are. And then there's a couple more underneath here. And yeah, there we go. So it's quite nice. It's quite nice. I think you'd be pretty happy to fix this up if you've got some mechanical aptitude. See, things are looking very good in here. Very good. So that should be about it. Yeah, windshield wipers, headlights work. See here, garbage can, headlights are on. You can barely see that. There we go, headlights on. High beam, I was on high beam. Here's high beam light here, should be somewhere. Low beam. Where's that high beam light? Oh, there it is. High beam, right there. Low beam, high beam, low beam. You can't see that much. What else? I mean, the back seat. Sun had faded the top of the fabric and just basically turned to dust. I had covered those so the sun wouldn't get to them this summer, so there has been very little sun exposure other than what it was before I got it. And then I put a little bit of TLC into that back panel there and covered up the speaker holes, and I don't know, I can't remember exactly how I did it, but I did it. My first repair upholstery. Yeah, so let's go again here and close this up in a minute. 30-minute video. I should have to find a there we go. Good tire. Those are all new from, got a good deal on them. Down here, original sticker back here. Caution! Only put it in the train that way. Not a boat. It's kind of nice, you know. You got your lights. That's actually on. Chrome's got a little bit of issue here and there, a little bit. But I had these removed completely so I could clean off the rust and put some new seam sealant in your roof liner here. There's a big bonus for you. That was a huge undertaking. The only thing is that I used epoxy and a fiberglass to cover over the there was a repair. Guys removed the top on here, but they didn't do a fix on the where the clips were similar to this. Here, you see how this is here? Well, they didn't do a proper repair with the rivets, and there was little bits of rust under this, but that's been all cleaned off, and then with epoxy and fiberglass. So this is ready basically for a little sand down, a little prime, and a paint on the roof. We take care of that. That would also take care of this because they had a hole drilled here for some stupid lights that were there. I welded those shut, put some body filler on, some black flat, and that's it there. So yeah, these were all off to check for rust underneath there, and the rust under there was repaired. Same with this side here. There actually was a bit of welding I needed to do underneath this side here, and that's been all welded up and sealed up now. So no more issues with water getting down inside this panel where that rust was a problem on the backside here. So there it is, 1979 Toyota Cressida. My name is Shane. I have a business called Robin's Mobile. It's a dent and paint chip repair service. I'm a body man by trade. I know what I'm doing when I'm fixing rust, or getting away with fixing rust. And there you go. If you pick this up, it's your gem. You have a couple problems, but you also have the joy of making it your own.